Clarissa, sweetheart, y'all better lock the doors, chain the gate, and hide the good china, because tonight the whole creek is about to overflow, and Papoose is standing in the middle of it holding an empty bucket and a guilty face. The internet is one match away from lighting up, and let me tell y'all exactly why. 50 Cent just dragged Clarissa Shields across every timeline in America, called her handsome, compared the woman to a middleweight man, and Papoose, the same Papoose who has picked up his phone 11 different times to swing at 50 over Remy Ma, has suddenly gone deaf, dumb, and silent. Quiet on the creek. That is not an accident. That is a confession. And by the time we get to the end of this breakdown, you are going to understand exactly why this silence is louder than every diss record Papoose has ever released in his life. Because here is the thing that Clarissa Shields does not want you to notice, and Papoose is praying you do not connect. The man responds when it is convenient, and he vanishes when it is inconvenient. And right now the woman getting laughed at on the Shade Room by 50,000 grown adults is inconvenient. Yeah, that was the shot heard uptown. And the corner men are already talking. They are talking loud. They are talking on the record. And what they are saying about Papoose is going to embarrass Clarissa Shields for the next 5 years of her life. Let us back the truck up. Earlier this morning, 50 Cent, because he has nothing better to do than run a full-time comedy tour on Instagram, reposted a picture of Clarissa Shields sitting in a stylist chair getting another one of those Remy Ma-inspired bust-down units laid down on her scalp. Because let us not pretend. Every single wig Clarissa has walked out of that shop with for the last 18 months has been a stitch-for-stitch replica of a hairstyle Remy Ma wore first. That alone is a psychological confession that would keep a therapist busy for a decade. But 50 Cent, being 50 Cent, was not there for the wig discourse. He was there to twist the knife. He looked directly into that camera, into that caption box, and told the entire planet the woman is handsome. Very, very handsome. Like Adrien Broner handsome. Like duck hunting season handsome, as Chris Cyborg would say when the boxing girls are running the same joke in group chats from Vegas to Atlanta to London. And Clarissa Shields, the same Clarissa who will slap a woman in a parking lot over a text message screenshot. The same Clarissa who will crash out on a live stream because somebody said her lipstick was crooked. The same Clarissa who has publicly threatened to sue 3 YouTubers, for bloggers, and a woman who runs a 1,500-follower gossip page out of her kitchen in Detroit, sat there and took it. She had to. Because the one person in this entire ecosystem who was contractually, romantically, emotionally, and publicly obligated to swing back on her behalf, the man whose name is tattooed across her body in ink she cannot afford to laser off, said absolutely nothing. Quiet on the creek. Now let me tell y'all what makes this so delicious. Word around the barbershop is that Papoose has a very specific pattern when it comes to defending women who wear his name. When 50 Cent so much as looked in Remy Ma's direction 2 years ago, literally posted a compliment about Remy's weight loss journey. A compliment, not an insult. Papoose was on Instagram inside of 90 seconds with a diss track, a photoshopped meme, and a full-court press. He dropped songs. He dropped freestyles. He dropped whole music videos over 50 Cent beats. He came out of his own skin to defend the wife. That is on tape. That is receipts. That is a matter of the internet's public record. You can go pull the timestamps yourself. But right now? For his so-called girlfriend? For the Olympian, the 2-time gold medalist, the undefeated middleweight who is supposedly the love of his life? For the woman he told the entire world was his new muse? Papoose is quieter than a librarian at closing time. And the reason is not complicated. The reason is that Clarissa Shields is not the wife. Clarissa Shields is not even the girlfriend, if we are being technically honest about what a girlfriend actually is. Clarissa Shields is what Remy Ma correctly identified on national television, under oath of a Breakfast Club microphone, no less, as the current come-up. She is the current chapter, not the biography. She is the paragraph, not the book. Whispers from ringside say Papoose has done the math, and the math is ugly. Defending Clarissa loudly means officially divorcing Remy loudly. Defending Clarissa loudly means covering the tattoo, deleting the marriage archive, and closing the door on the woman who built his entire career from the inside of a federal prison visitation room across 2 decades. So Papoose has chosen the coward's compromise. He posts pictures of his daughter. He promotes music nobody is streaming. He hypes the August 15th fight because he has a cut of the bag coming when the DAZN pay-per-view money hits. And then he goes silent when the woman who is supposedly his ride or die gets called ugly on the biggest gossip page in America. Quiet on the creek. Let me tell y'all something else that Clarissa Shields refuses to process. And this is the part where the room gets uncomfortable. The comments underneath 50 Cent's post, the ones under the Shade Room repost, the ones on Baller Alert, the ones on Neighborhood Talk, the ones on the Jasmine brand, the ones on every major blog Instagram runs, are not defending her. They are laughing. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands. Grown women, boxing fans, hip-hop fans, casual scrollers. They are all in the replies with crying laughing emojis and receipts of every time Clarissa dragged another woman's face online. Because here is the receipt Clarissa forgot about. You cannot spend 3 years bullying every woman you disagree with, mocking Layla Ali's chin, mocking Frank Cruz DAZN's teeth, mocking Nigeria the Goat's hairline, mocking Savannah Marshall's nose, mocking Alicia Baumgartner's height, and then act surprised when the internet finally shows up with the mirror. That is not misogyny. That is inventory. That is the karmic ledger being read out loud in front of a live studio audience. And the corner men say Papoose knows this too. He knows Clarissa's fanbase is a mile wide and an inch deep. He knows the Twitter space she hosted last night pulled 58 listeners. 58. For an undisputed champion whose next pay-per-view is 3 weeks away. He knows the State Farm Arena presale is not moving the way Team Shields is pretending. He knows Kaye Scott, the woman she is fighting on August 15th, the unified middleweight champion out of Australia, a legitimate opponent people are quietly rooting to pull the upset, has a real chance to embarrass Clarissa in front of the very audience she cannot fill. And Papoose is preserving his optionality. That is what a man does when the writing is on the wall. He hedges. He hedges the way a stockbroker hedges before a crash. But here is where the story goes from petty to devastating. Because folks close to camp are talking, and what they are saying is that this is not just a case of a man protecting his marriage. This is a case of a man protecting a portfolio. Because right after this fight, whether Clarissa wins or loses, the promotional money dries up. The endorsement money dries up. The novelty of boxing champion dating a rapper dries up. Clarissa Shields' commercial ceiling in this relationship is a 9-figure event in Atlanta on a Saturday night in August. After that, she is a woman with a title belt and no leverage over the man she has publicly tied her entire identity to. And Papoose knows it. He has known it since the first month they went public. Which is why he will not divorce Remy. Which is why he will not cover the tattoo. Which is why he will not archive a single one of those 20 years, my queen Instagram posts. Because if the Clarissa investment does not compound, he needs the exit ramp back to the wife who, bless her soul, has already made it crystal clear she is not opening the door. Remy Ma is glowing. Remy is on floats with Teyana Taylor. Remy is in Lifetime movies. Remy is on the Knicks parade route waving to fans while paparazzi camera flashes light up the Bronx. Remy is releasing songs that go viral in 24 hours. Remy has moved on with the grace of a woman who read the room, took the win, and left the building. And Papoose is standing outside in the rain with a lyric sheet and a decade of receipts he cannot unpost. Now I want to talk about the second layer of this whole situation, because the surface story is entertaining, but the subtext is where the real journalism lives. Sugar, we are about to be in the middle of a Category 5, so buckle up. Clarissa Shields is projecting. Every single accusation she has ever levied against another woman in this business is a confession about her own conduct. She accuses Remy of running a smear campaign, while text messages from her former friend Nigeria the Goat confirmed that Clarissa herself coordinated pile-on posts, dispatched family members to attack strangers in comment sections, and lit the match on more than one social media hate train. She accused a former friend of stealing a Chanel handbag when the receipts Remy Ma casually dropped online suggested a very different story, one involving pawn slips, cash flow issues, and a marriage financial pattern that predates Clarissa's entire relationship with Papoose. She accuses her opponents of ducking her when she is the one who ducked a rematch with Savannah Marshall for 3 straight years. She accuses interviewers of hating on her the moment they ask a real question. Every accusation is a mirror. Every finger she points has 3 coming back. Every complaint she files is a self-portrait she does not know she is painting. And Papoose knows this too. That is not conjecture. That is what a man learns in the first 90 days of dating someone with Clarissa Shields' emotional pattern. He learned it, filed it, and now uses it to justify his silence. Because defending her publicly means putting his name behind a version of events that will not survive contact with the receipts. And Papoose, whatever else he is not stupid. Not about business. Never about business. Quiet on the creek. And the creek is running deep tonight. Let me tell y'all what is going to happen next, because I have seen this movie before, and I will tell you how it ends. Papoose is going to wait. He is going to let the ridicule cycle burn itself out for another 48 to 72 hours. Then, right around the time everyone is talking about the next scandal, he is going to release something performative. A song, a freestyle, a cryptic caption, something just visible enough that Clarissa can screenshot it, retweet it, and pretend to the world that her man defended her honor. It will be manufactured. It will be delayed. It will be transactional. And it will land nowhere, because the internet already knows the truth. He is not defending you when it counts. He is defending you when it markets. That is the whole difference between a partner and a promoter. And Papoose picked promoter. The husband can practice his silence now. He is going to need the reps. And here is the part that nobody in Clarissa's camp wants her to hear. But somebody needs to say it into a microphone. Remy Ma warned her. Remy Ma warned her in interviews. Remy Ma warned her in the "Why You Effing Lying" record. Remy Ma warned her in the receipts she posted and the receipts she has not posted yet. Remy Ma even warned her, indirectly, in that Breakfast Club sit-down when she called Clarissa the current come-up with the dead-eyed calm of a woman who has already seen the ending. And Clarissa was so busy being intoxicated by the fantasy of stealing another woman's husband that she did not read the manual. Pride comes before the fall, and the fall is loud, and it is public, and it is being live-streamed on the Shade Room right now with the crying laughing emoji in the top comment. Pride comes before the fall, Clarissa. Every time. Whispers from ringside also say something else, something I have been sitting on because I wanted to see how the timeline played out. There is a specific reason 50 Cent is so confident right now. There is a specific reason he keeps escalating. There is a specific reason Papoose will not respond. And it has nothing to do with the surface beef. It has to do with what 50 Cent is holding. The same way he was holding the Terry Crews footage before he released it. The same way he was holding the Ja Rule receipts before he released them. The same way he is always 3 moves ahead in a game everybody else is playing checkers on. Word around the barbershop is that 50 Cent has been quietly aggregating documentation. Footage, screenshots, DMs, financials from the era when he flew Clarissa out for a photo op. The same trip Clarissa herself later tried to spin as "he was fanning out over me." 50 Cent laughed at that on tape. He said, and I quote almost directly, "The mother lover is handsome. She looked like AB, LOL." And when a man like 50 Cent laughs at you publicly, it is because he already knows how the next chapter reads, and you do not. He does not swing at people he cannot bury. He never has. Ask Ja Rule. Ask Rick Ross. Ask Diddy. Ask Irv Gotti. The list of people who thought they could out-strategize Curtis Jackson is a list of career obituaries. Papoose knows. That is why he is quiet. Because if he responds, 50 Cent has permission to escalate. And nobody in the Clarissa Papoose ecosystem can afford another escalation. Not right now. Not 3 weeks before a pay-per-view that already is not selling. Not while Remy is glowing on the front page of every black entertainment blog in the country. Not while the divorce paperwork Papoose refuses to file is sitting in a folder somewhere gathering dust. Quiet on the creek. Let me pull back and give y'all the wide shot, because this is bigger than one insult on Instagram. This is a case study in what happens when a female athlete with a legitimate legacy hitches her identity to a man whose entire brand is built on defending someone else. Clarissa Shields is the greatest women's boxer of her generation. Full stop. 2 Olympic golds, undisputed titles in 3 weight classes, and a work ethic that most of her male counterparts could not survive a week of. That is legacy. That is history. That is a Hall of Fame plaque already being engraved somewhere in Canastota, New York, with her name spelled correctly and her record in gold leaf. And instead of protecting that legacy, Clarissa spent the last 2 years lighting matches inside her own house, chasing a man whose loudest defenders are internet burner accounts and whose loudest critics are his own wife. She traded generational respect for a chapter in someone else's memoir, and she is starting to realize it. You can feel it in her interviews. You can hear it in her voice. You can see it in her eyes now. The Twitter spaces getting quieter. The press conferences getting shorter. The interviews getting more defensive. The friends drifting away one by one. First Nigeria the GOAT, then Maserati Bud, then the training camp people who used to post her every workout, then the sparring partners who suddenly have scheduling conflicts. Fake love, all of it. She said it herself in an unguarded moment last month. It's fake love. And she was right. She just did not realize she was diagnosing her own situation. She thought she was diagnosing everyone else's. The husband can practice his silence now. Because when this all collapses, and it will collapse, whether on August 15th or the Monday after, the only person left holding the bag is going to be Clarissa. Papoose will land back on his feet, drop an "I never really left Remy" record, and get on with the rest of his life. Remy will keep glowing. 50 Cent will keep laughing. Fat Joe will keep booking Remy for the parade routes and the movie premieres. And Clarissa Shields will be sitting in a stylist chair getting another Remy Ma bust down installed, scrolling through her phone, wondering where her army went. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler alert. Now let me tell y'all what to watch for over the next 48 hours. Because you are not watching this story right if you are not watching the correct signals. Watch Papoose's Instagram. If a soft, delayed, performative post drops, a subtle photo, a cryptic bar, a "My Queen" caption, that is the receipt. That is the man showing you exactly what I just told you. Watch Clarissa's team's next media move. If they suddenly announce a fluff piece interview, a sit-down with a friendly outlet, a puff piece profile with a cover story about her charity work in Flint, that is damage control. And watch 50 Cent. Because if 50 Cent is quiet for the next 72 hours, that means he is loading, not resting. And when 50 Cent loads, entire careers change. He does not miss. He has never missed. He is a sniper who charges by the round. Sugar, we are about to be in the middle of a Category 5. And Clarissa Shields is standing in front of the window arguing with the weatherman. Now let me add one more layer that folks close to camp keep whispering about. Because this is the piece nobody has put together in public yet. There is a reason the State Farm Arena presale is soft. There is a reason DAZN has been unusually quiet in the marketing spend. And there is a reason the co-main event on August 15th still has not been officially locked. Whispers from ringside say the promoters are watching Clarissa's brand collapse in real time and quietly recalibrating. Nobody wants to say it out loud because contracts are contracts. But insiders are already sketching the emergency plan B where the card gets moved to a smaller venue if the presale does not stabilize in the next 2 weeks. That is not sabotage. That is arithmetic. That is what happens when the face of your card is fighting a public perception war on 9 different fronts and losing 7 of them. And Papoose knows this too. He knows every additional public embarrassment shaves points off the gate, off the pay-per-view buys, off his own end of the check. So every time 50 Cent posts, Papoose is doing the calculation. Does responding grow the pot, or does it shrink it? And the answer, every single time, has been the same. Shrink. Silence. Preserve. Wait for the money to clear. Then reassess. The husband can practice his silence now. And here is the meta layer that Clarissa Shields cannot see because she is inside the frame. The audience is not laughing at 50 Cent's jokes. The audience is laughing at the picture 50 Cent is drawing. The picture is a boxing champion begging her boyfriend to defend her, and the boyfriend refusing, and the ex-wife glowing, and the internet holding a magnifying glass to every second of it. That is not a diss campaign. That is a documentary. And Clarissa is the unwilling star. So drop your verdict in the comments. Jury's in session. Do you think Papoose is going to finally respond and defend Clarissa? Or does he sit on the couch and let 50 Cent keep swinging while he protects his own portfolio? Do you think Clarissa Shields wins on August 15th against Kaye Scott? Or does the pressure finally crack the champ in front of her hometown crowd of maybe 6,000 people in an arena built for 18? And do you think Remy Ma has one more record left in the chamber? Because word around the barbershop is that she does. And it is aimed directly at everything Clarissa has ever posted, everything Papoose has ever recorded, and everything the two of them are trying to pretend is not falling apart in front of the entire world. Aim straight at the crown, Remy. We are watching. All of us. The whole creek. That is the story tonight, and it is nowhere near over. Papoose is quiet. 50 Cent is loading. Clarissa is projecting. Remy is glowing. DAZN is calculating. State Farm Arena is refreshing the ticketing dashboard every 4 hours, praying the numbers move. And the creek, the whole creek, is about to break the levee. Stay locked in, because when the next shoe drops on this thing, I will be right here breaking it down first, and you already know I am not going to hold back. Hit that like button if this made sense to you. Subscribe if you have not already. Ring the little bell so you catch the moment I upload the next chapter. Share this with the group chat that has been having this exact conversation for the last 6 months, and I will see y'all when the next storm rolls through the creek. SH, not another word.